Hey, Kevin, just the man I'm looking for. Have I got a proposition for you?
Yeah?
I was thinking after our phenomenal performance in Overcooked last week, it's time for us to go pro. I've already made the app. And would you look at that? Our first order. It's a salad. It's alright. I'm ready for this. I'm not. We got some lettuce? Hey, yep. We got tomatoes? Hey, Lucas, like your cucumber. We got tomatoes? Does this look right to you? I was led to believe I was better at this.
Hey there, Jellyheads, and welcome to another episode of Last Coin at the Arcade. We're your hosts,
Luke, me,
and Kevin, and we're here to bring you another week of gaming goodness. Glad to have you.
we're here to prove that local multiplayer isn't dead.
No, it's not. We had a great time this last weekend playing a variety of couch co-op games. I downloaded about half a dozen, and we did like melee style every 30 minutes for the most part. We just swap in the new game and give it a shot. And it was really nice. Yeah, we had 4 of us with 4 Xbox controllers on 1 PC hooked up to a TV, and it worked out great. So, yeah, it's not dead on PC by a long shot.
So this week we'll be talking about Overcooked.
Yes. That's one of the games we played probably the most of. We
tried to complete the campaign.
We did. We had like 7 hours, I think we played pretty much straight.
7 hours?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Of that game?
Well, no, not of that game. Of all games. And about, I don't know, half of it was Overcooked. And yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one.
This game is the embodiment of the phrase, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Too many cooks?
I can't imagine the game without 4 people.
No.
Yeah, I've seen YouTubes of people playing with 2, and it's just not the same. It's It's just so hectic with 4 of you all in there at the same time.
For everyone out there who doesn't know what this game is, the object of it is basically, well, the layout is there's 4 characters, top down, and your goal is to get ingredients and then make something and put it out for people to eat. And you gotta do it within a specific time limit. Most of it's pretty standard stuff, cooking like burgers on a grill, chopping up lettuce, making stews, and there's a whole variety of levels. The thing is, you can't do it without a team, so it's not possible for you to grab the ingredients, and then you chop them up, and then you plate them, and then you put them out. It doesn't work that way. So the whole object of it is to have kind of people like in specific roles or trying to figure out a method to like rotate roles.
Yeah.
And it creates this like crazy chaos of like, hey, I need burgers, we're out of burgers, and everyone's just yelling at each other. So it's a perfect game to play with easily excitable people. Definitely.
Every level is its own kitchen. Often it will separate players up, so certain players only have access to half of the kitchen and have to constantly be passing ingredients and cooked dishes across the center to facilitate everyone working on what they need to work on. The greatest levels are ones that just throw something unexpected at you, whether it be an earthquake or a fire. You get into a rhythm, you think you've got it down, and then the game's just like, no. Get wrecked.
The best example of that is we're just playing. We played relatively static levels for the first world. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, we're playing this one level that's on a ship. And right as our stew's about to finish, the entire ship tilts and everything just goes sliding. And it pushes us all away from the soup that just finished. And if you don't take soup off the burner fast enough, everything lights on fire. So we had never had a fire before.
We lost our damn minds.
So we just like panicked, and everybody's just on the floor laughing as everything's just going up in flames. I think that was the first one we failed, right?
We passed it, actually.
Did we? Yeah, we
barely.
I think we got 1 star on it.
Yeah,
and we did go back and we're like, this was hard?
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, it was just like the chaotic nature of starting a fire at the absolute worst moment and at a completely unexpected moment. After you played a good amount, like 45 minutes with the game and everything's static, that's kind of like your mind doesn't even picture everything starting to move around. and that's kind of over time you get more of those kinetic effects of people getting separated. There'll be some crazy things like you're going down the highway with trucks.
Oh yeah.
And
That's what we got stuck on.
yeah.
Rats that'll steal your ingredients if you leave them in the open.
That never happened again. It was just that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a one-time shot. And we had the ghosts in the haunted pizza factory.
Yeah, the nice thing about this game is it's very varied. They don't repeat much, so like we had a level with, rats taking our ingredients, but we saw it once.
Yeah,
So
the mechanics were all very unique and none of them were overused. Every level felt very much like its own thing.
yeah, it didn't feel repetitive at all, which really speaks a lot for a game that we played for 2-3 hours at least.
At least.
You expect themes to like repeat a lot, and they would just like rearrange how it would set up.
Yeah. There'd be things like certain kitchens where you couldn't pass each other because there's a one-lane highway.
Yep.
We played most of the game not knowing we could dash, which I think would have helped us quite a bit. Yeah, there's a bunch where there's an earthquake and it separates the levels.
Oh, yeah.
There's some people who can
That was
pass
a problem.
some things one way but not the other.
The worst is when you have like a pot that's about to burn and it's just in a section of the level that nobody can get to right now and you're just watching it like, Jesus Christ, what are we gonna do?
Yeah. This game also has a competitive mode too, which was very interesting. One of the levels, it separates the map into 3 sections. And at first you think of it like the easiest way to think of it is 2 sections. Like, okay, the top half is our team,
Right,
bottom
it's the
half
top
is
half
yours.
versus the
But
bottom
it's
half.
not, because the order up window is shared actually
Yeah.
between teams. So we played it once, and at the very end, someone realized, wait, I can just steal their shit.
Yeah. You just take the other team's prepared meals and hand them right out the door and get credit.
So everyone does all the
It's like,
there was another one, like I accidentally placed a pot off a burner and I put it in the middle, and then he was able to grab my pot.
right.
And
you had
so
no
we're
pot.
on one pot for and that's how I learned that you could just take stuff. I was like, why aren't we just taking their meals? So him doing that to us made me think, take their food. So it was perfect.
Of course, and it's all Pat
Yeah.
suing.
Oh,
He's
man.
trying
And
to
you start
steal
like
our
throwing ingredients at each other, trying to screw each other up. Like there's a lot of ways to interact for like a game that has a really simple control scheme.
Yep.
You move around. You have like 3 buttons. It's like dash, interact, and grab, and that's it.
Yeah.
But like,
Well,
it's
isn't
great.
internet grab? Like, they're the same. There's
No, you're using A to pick things up and X to like
okay.
use stations.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your wife tried.
Yeah, no.
Just burnt the whole level. All of it.
She
The
doesn't
whole
play
thing.
games.
With
So
a literal dumpster fire.
the issue is she doesn't know what button to press under any time constraints whatsoever, which is what Portal is perfect for, which I've talked about. And so in order to play, she has to look down at the controller because she'll be like, wait, press A. And so she'll think, press A. And that's how slow her reaction time is. So yeah, when a soup's about to burn, she just like, press what? What? Oh, a fire. And then she has to be like, wait, now what?
She had her whole half of the kitchen on fire, and I was just like full time with the fire extinguisher, just trying to not let the fire spread to my side of the kitchen. You know,
you and
we got like one
yeah, it
dish
was you
out.
and I,
the
right?
whole-
Yeah, we sprayed that, and it was just like send the food out.
And then Pat's teamed up with Liz, and he's just like, grab the extinguisher, grab the fire extinguisher. What are you doing? You know, and she's just like, where is
What's
it?
a fire extinguisher?
Where? How?
So it went
awesome.
wonderfully. Yeah, it was perfect.
And honestly, I think the best way to experience this game is to just go in totally cold with 3 other people. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
You don't like look up how to play. You know, just do it.
That's what all these games are for. And luckily, every single one of them I have a coworker who plays lots of these on the weekend, and I had him give me 4 or 5 games that I had no idea. I just knew that they filled these qualifications of we can play it on a couch with 4 people.
Yeah.
That's it. And I said, give me good ones. So it made for a really interesting experience being like, I have no idea, guys. Just go with it.
It was an awesome time. I definitely want to do it again. It was like a real throwback to like hanging out 15 years ago,
Yeah.
and that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like what you did. Nowadays, things are so secluded with, you know, automatic matchmaking and online multiplayer. Like they're great things for sure,
Yeah.
and like they've just blown the world of online gaming
Yeah.
wide open. But it's nice to go back and do it old school.
Yeah, and a lot of these games you can't play online. Like Overcooked, you can't do online
That's
play.
true,
It's
that's
only
true.
couch co-op. It's getting released for Xbox actually in the next like week or 2.
Yep. It's already available on PS4 and Steam.
Okay. But yeah, I can't believe it's not available for online. I think it should be, but you know, I'm glad we experienced it the way we did.
Check out our links down in the description to find Overcooked for
What
yourself.
if they're up there?
What if I decide to edit it right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What if he puts them over there? It depends on what website this goes on.
Thanks, Kevin.
YouTube tropes.
Yeah. Pretty sure everything goes on the left, but then if they're watching this, it's going to be on the right. But then what if you flip the video? It could be on either side. So yeah, if you're looking for any sort of couch co-op, I mean, we'll talk about some of the other games. We played Fistful of Gun and Duck Game. I think we should talk about those kind of together. They're different, but at the same time, they're
Is it called
both
Duck
interesting.
Game?
No, one was Duck Game. That was the
It's called Duck
Yeah,
Game.
it's called
Yeah.
Duck Game.
yeah.
Okay.
The full title is Duck Game. That's a fast-paced one where it's almost like they put you in a Super Smash Brother Melee side view.
It's like Metal Slug and Super Smash Brothers had a baby.
yeah.
What was that game? It was like almost exactly the same thing, but you had arrows.
Oh, Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar to Towerfall, except this one it's way more fast-paced. It's still single shot kills you. It's lots of gunplay, so think of Super Smash Brothers type side view with everyone just shooting at each other. But the instant everyone's dead, it instantly loads up a new level within seconds, and all of a sudden you're off again. So it goes by extremely fast.
I don't know what I was doing right, but I dominated it. I was kicking ass.
So yeah, that's like a perfect one where it starts out and it's just utter chaos for the first 10 seconds, and then beyond that you usually end up with two people. Well, if it hasn't just ended, which does happen, the last two people are kind of like trying to duke it out with like these like fake moves and trying to get the last shot in. But it's a nice, quick game to play if you just want something
I will say,
kinetic.
The gameplay is great. I love the speed at which it gets you in. The graphics suck ass.
Yeah, you hated
It's
them.
so ugly. It looks
I'm
like
fine with it.
It looks like one of those bad Sega Genesis movie tie-in games that was cranked out in like 2 months of development time.
Yeah,
It's just ugly pixel art with thick black outlines on
Yep.
all the characters. If you're into it, good for
But
you.
you still had fun with it.
Yeah,
That's the
I
thing,
like the game regardless. Like
Yeah.
I have seen that game on Steam before, and then clicked on a screenshot and been like, bleh.
Yeah,
But like
enough.
having actually played it, I can appreciate it for what it is.
yeah. The other
Fistful of Gun
yeah.
looks a lot better. It's also pixel art, but it's like that modern, clean style of pixel art.
Yeah. It's also it's a lot more strategic. There's a lot more depth in that one. Duck Game,
There's a lot more depth.
death too. Duck Game, it's definitely okay. Here go. Like there is strategy, but I just want. It's easy to figure out in my mind. With or Fistful of Gun, it's you select a character. It's more of the old school like helicopter top down.
Yes,
Because it reminded me of that game where you're in a helicopter in the arcade and it's just like flying straight up.
I know what you're talking about.
It
Something,
looks so
something
similar.
like Raiden or
Yeah.
yeah, like a shmup,
So
but it's not.
it's not. It is a free for all, which we didn't realize at first because it didn't.
Yeah,
There's no
it doesn't
tutorial.
tell you what's up. You're just, and the first level we spawned in happened to have a lot of NPCs, and we were like killing them. This is what we're supposed to do, right? And then it's like, you killed me. Why'd you kill me? You know, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
And then it's like, are we on the same
Yeah.
team? No.
And then by the end of the level, it's like showdown. And it's like just two of you left. You're like, okay, so this is what the game's supposed to do.
yeah.
Each character is very unique. Each one has a completely different like firing mode and control scheme, which makes things a little more complicated.
I will say this: the game was designed for mouse and keyboard controls, right? So
Was it?
yes, all like I was looking at the updates. They didn't
Yeah.
even have controller support for like a few revisions of the game, right?
Huh.
Which means that the characters are balanced for mouse and keyboard controls. Like those guys that you're supposed to be aiming with, you're supposed to be aiming with a mouse, which makes them a lot better. 'Cause
Yeah, probably.
When we were playing on the controllers, anybody that shot in a cone with like a shotgun or could just like lay
Super
down
good,
a
yeah.
bunch of fire and not have to be accurate was just insane powerful.
Or
Like-
ones where you didn't have to aim, like they just shot direct up, right, left, down.
Right,
I
yeah.
played that character.
Exactly.
Really good.
Those characters are so much easier.
You stupid rockets! Oh my god.
Yeah.
So talk about your rocket character.
There's 11 different characters in the game. They all have a different control scheme.
Way different. Wildly different.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you move the same way, but you have a weapon and it's just totally
Yeah.
out of left field how
One
it's
of them
going to
was
work.
technically like 6 people.
He's actually 9 people.
Is he 9
Yeah,
people?
it's 9. It's a group of 9. Yeah, talk about your rocket
Well,
escapade.
he had fireworks, and then you could just click and you lay one, and it flies off. So you just go up and down the screen, going click, 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 click,
like
and then just.
A layer of rockets.
I never won though.
We just 3v1'd you because like it was so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
The whole screen was rockets everywhere, and we were like, we gotta get rid of this guy.
And there's some character like that character encountering him is a perfect example, kind of. There's almost a rock paper scissors with this.
Yeah,
Not quite. It's not as cut and dry, but maybe that's because we haven't played it enough.
it's also a case of like if you're playing with more than two, the game sort of balances itself because if there's somebody who's just going to be unbeatable in a showdown, everyone's going to make sure he's not the guy that you're showing down with in the end. So, like the ability to team up on somebody is in many ways one of the things that keeps the game fair.
Like probably the best character against the rocket guy is the mob of 9,
right?
Because he shoots 9 shots at once, which each one takes out a rocket.
Well, also
and then every rocket that hits him only loses one guy.
Yeah, you're not.
So
he's the only character in the game that can take more than one hit.
Yeah. Yep. So it makes him really strong against that character.
My personal favorite was Billy the Kid. You have to match your firing inputs to events on the screen, so it'll tell you whether you have to hit which face button you hit to shoot.
Yeah.
And it changes, and every time you miss, you get penalized and like your gun jams. But successes results in your gun powering up. So you can just kind of run in a circle in the corner and just match inputs for like the first 30 seconds of the match until your gun's super powerful, and you can just go around and wreck face, and it's awesome.
I really enjoyed the bow and arrow guy who just shot a single arrow up, straight up,
Yeah,
straight right,
you can only
down,
shoot
left.
orthogonally.
And it's perfect because strafe shooting with him is one of the best things ever. It also it's kind of nice because it shows a little like beam of light where it's gonna hit. Not many characters have that ability to kind of have targeting, and that helps quite a bit. It was definitely one of the better characters to just snipe any sort of shotgun or rocket laying.
Yeah,
dude out.
I'd say the game felt a little bit imbalanced, and it wasn't quite as smooth as Duck's game in like getting in and understanding what you were doing. And some of the levels were really chaotic too. It was like I would just die and I'd be like, what just happened? I don't know. But I'm still interested in playing more of it, both because I love asymmetrical games. When you can have players that have different skill sets interacting, but evenly, I think that's one of the coolest game mechanics you can have. Also, I really like that low-res art style when it's done right, and I think that game looks really cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. Other games, we won't talk about this one this week. I think we'll talk about it another week, which is Push You Pull Me.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So we'll get there.
But
that deserves its own like lengthy explanation. Plus I'd like to get some like solid footage for you guys to see. So
Imagine Cat Dog, but people
it was fun.
playing ball.
What else did we play? Oh, we played Worms, which was probably the dud.
Yeah, I would say it was just so slow moving compared to the other games. Like not having that simultaneous play it never got exciting to the point that the other games did. Like you have those little moments where like somebody explodes and takes out 3 worms, but it's just like as opposed to like these other games where it was just like adrenaline rush the whole time. Like,
and after you guys hyped Worms up,
I still really like Worms, but like I don't think its strength is a 4-player multiplayer game. I think if
not on the couch.
Like 2 people is better, and like I don't know.
Over the internet, it's better because when someone else is doing their turn,
you're crafting. You have stuff to do.
Yeah, you can craft. Also, because when you're playing on the same couch, you can't craft in between turns. When you're like you can do other things almost. Like I can alt tab out if I really want, or I just have something on in the background.
Yeah,
it's a lot more like chilled, relaxed game that you can just kind of be playing.
Yeah,
but not like entirely engaged.
But it's interesting because we also played Mount Your Friends.
Yeah,
and that also has 1 player at a time who's actually controlling it, but. Like for some reason, it keeps you. I'm a lot more engaged when other people are playing that. Like when people
there's
are
a lot of tension in that one.
Like it's almost when you play Worms, you don't want to be too involved in other people's turns because it's just like nerve-wracking trying to see your worms like almost get blown up. You just want to be like, let me know what's going on when it comes back to me. But like Mount Your Friends, you're just like rooting for them to fail so hard that you're just like, yeah, come on. Oh, you didn't make it. What a tragedy.
So we didn't talk about Your Friends, but basically it's a it's a people tower game.
Yeah,
So,
we've talked about it on this podcast
classic
before. I think it
genre.
was your game of the week at least once.
Yeah,
For anybody who hasn't heard our older episodes, you have to move one limb at a time. So you have like these like weird sticky limbs basically, and you have to like pick one and pick it up, and then move the hand, and then move the other hand, and then move a foot, and like while you're doing that, you're climbing this tower of people that gets larger and larger as you add more men to it, and they're all like oiled up muscle men that make like flesh slapping sounds every
gross.
time you move them.
yeah.
It's interesting. It's got its own flavor, but it
and
works for us.
If you're not the highest point on that tower by the end of your turn, which is usually 45 seconds to a minute, you can change it if you want. You lose, you're out.
Yep.
And then it just does that. Depending on how many people you have, it goes 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and it's just a great party game that I think the aesthetic definitely helps that one a lot.
Yeah,
Because it's so weird and
it's got
wacky.
dong physics.
It has Dawn Fizz, like they're just swinging dicks all the time. Oh my god, why did they put that in? So, yeah, it's definitely a game that benefits from its very unique look, for sure, and sound effects. It's kind of silly.
It's really juvenile, but
Yeah, it definitely
it worked for me.
It's one of those games where I don't really see myself going back to it time after time, but when I'm in the mood for that game and just being like silly and ridiculous, I'll pick it up and play it. The great thing about all these games, I think the most expensive one I bought was $15, and the rest were like $5 to $10.
You can get Fistful of Gun on G2A for 67 cents.
Yeah, you can get a lot of these on G2A for really cheap, but I don't like to support them that much because of the whole key. So yeah, no, I bought a cheap version of that. I think it was, what was it? I think that it cost me, that was the most expensive one. I think it was $12 on Humble Bundle is where I picked it up. So,
Which was it?
Fistful again.
Oh, okay.
And all the rest were cheaper than that, so definitely keep an eye out. These also tend to go on sale for like bottom basement prices. I just had to buy these because I was like, we gotta play them tonight.
Yeah.
So if you shop around, you can definitely get these.
And I mean,
super cheap.
Compared to like doing anything with friends, like the price of buying a few split screen games and spending all night playing them is pretty low.
Yeah.
And if you can get your friends to chip in.
Yeah, pretty much everything together. We played 6 or 7 games. Everything except for Worms because I bought that new. My cart was like $47, I think, for everything for that night. So. A little pricey because I didn't go for the deals, but if you did, you could probably get all that stuff for less than 20.
Of the games we played, so we were always playing with 4 players, which seemed pretty optimal for all of them.
Pretty much.
I feel like Duck Game and Fistful of Gun, even Met Your Friends, work fine with less.
Yep.
I don't think I'd suggest playing Overcooked unless you have the full 4.
Okay, yeah. I didn't watch any footage from the fewer people. But...
It's just not as hectic, It's like you're just kind of doing the things, and there's like some levels too where I think most of the craziness when you have 2 people in that game comes from like, wow, we can't even get to that side of the level right now, and you have to like plan for that kind of thing. But I prefer more of the like people running into each other and throwing shit all over the place.
And Push You Pull Me was the same thing. You need 4 people.
Yes.
You can't do that one with 3 or 5, and I don't think there's 6 or 8.
No.
You have to definitely play in pairs.
It has a way to play with 2, but I don't think it's very.
No, because each person controls half. But we'll talk about that later. What else? Was that all the games? I think that was all the games.
Overcooked lets you play with 4 people on 2 controllers. Each person can use a half controller.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And that would be something we didn't try it out, but
no, I'm good.
that's
I'm
like
good.
I know some people out there only have like 2 PS4
It's
controllers.
like the Octodad co-op.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
That's what we did.
I would recommend most of these. It was a great Friday night.
Go have a flashback to 2002. Play some local multiplayer games. I'm sure it'll be a kick.
What are you doing with your hands up there?
Just being a weird dude. It's okay.
Forward beckoning.
Oh, okay.
Go forth and enjoy.
Yeah.
We're Last Coin at the Arcade. Check out our stuff on psychojellyfish.com. See us on Twitter. I'm Last Coin Luke. He's Last Coin Luke. We spell it differently.
I'm Kevin, but I'm not on Twitter.
Every week, Kevin.
Every week.
We also have the group account at Jellycast. You can also find more at psychojellyfish.com.
This is also a podcast. Find us on iTunes and the podcast app Stitcher. Like, follow, give us a review. Tell us what we want to see from us in the future. We would love to hear your feedback, and we appreciate your fandom.
Yeah. It sounds so creepy. Okay, so I have a story. Last week, we talked about the lamp store.
Yeah, Dilampe.
The lamp store's Dilampe. And then we came across Dilampe as Lucas is learning to do German, and he had a sticky note that said Dilampe.
You had a sticky note on his lamp. This is
I did not realize that's where I got it
What
from.
is this one like?
But it was a
De la
two-word-
Lam.
What was the full name of the lamp store, though? It was like something Dilampe. It was like... We have to go back and listen to the
It was
cast now.
literally Dilampe.
See, De La Lampe. You added an extra thing in there, and that's what did it. De La Lampe. It was like out of nowhere.
Well, because I said "la" and I was like, "That's not right. We gotta fix this lampe."
Thanks to our sponsor, De La Lampe. Where you can find all of these wonderful lamps.
Oh god, we have so many lights. It gets so hot in here.
It's like 1 billion degrees.
Yes.
Keep it psycho, listeners.